And hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. How the heck are you? I am the Lavender Lady, Diana Clarion. This is the Open Chat, and we have a full cockpit today. Isn't that amazing? Yes, indeed, kids. Over in the co pilot seat, we have my dear friend, my co host, Kate Farr, Bionic Dance. How are you?
I am doing rather well, especially now that I have some caffeine. I was actually quite tired and out of sorts around about noon today after I finished a fairly long, we're talking 3 days worth of 3D modeling object for my animation. And then I was like, okay, it's done. I don't want to do jack shit anymore. I'm going to go sleep, which didn't happen because of Rambunctious Kitty. So I read for a while and then the stream started and all set up now.
Oh my, and we're so glad that you are up because here you are brightening up the show, the whole thing. Like I keep saying, they come for you, okay?
Oh, that's just because I'm the one who gets them excited.
There
That's why
you
they
are.
come.
There you are.
Um, I, of anyone here, I know the best what to do with my tongue.
Okay then. And behind the right hand seat in the engineer's station, we have our navigator and chief engineer, Mom Nato. Hi, honey. How are you?
Oh, I would be better if I could line up the IRS agents and just take pot shots at them with something.
Oh boy, I'm gonna hear them knocking on my
Oh.
door now.
Hmm.
Hey, I said pot shots with something. I didn't say anything that would harm them. Just pot shots.
Oh my, oh
You
my.
know, the rubber bullets would be really nice.
Well, from what
Beanbag bullets, whatever you want to call them.
yeah, from what I understand,
Hmm.
those can be pretty devastating.
They can hurt. They leave large bruises and can break bones.
Yeah, because I remember one somebody got, is it his or her eye shot out with a rubber bullet in Portland, I
Yeah.
think.
I,
Mm.
trying to
No,
remember
I
now.
wouldn't be aiming at the head.
Ah,
I'd be going like much lower than that.
why am I so totally blanking on this? Never mind. I'll just be over here.
Yeah,
That's right.
I'd be.
Oh, wait a minute. I know who it was that got their eye shot out. It was Ralphie.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go, there you go. Now to my recollection, it was a journalist, but correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that's what I'm remembering, and I don't remember a name, and
I
I
have
don't
no
remember
clue.
exactly where, but I think it was Portland because this was really early on.
Mm. No,
Um,
I'd be going for groin shots. It hurts more.
yeah, there you go. Definitely.
And of course, on the women, you aim for a nipple.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that's there. Yeah, there is that.
Have you ever been in like a LARP group of some sort and you're sword fighting and someone manages to swipe you right across the nipple? Because it's not any
Oh.
fun. Holy shit, that hurts like a motherfucker.
Mm. No, never done that. But
Yeah.
Well, I do
been in
not
fights with
recommend
my
it.
sister and had it happen. So yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, Mage
So
Grey Wolf.
apparently, according to Mage Grey Wolf, the audio is a bit low.
I just noticed that.
Mm.
Yes. Let's see if there's
Brian
anything.
Stevens there says, sounds okay here, not super great on Kate, but understandable. Yes, it's understandable that my audio would be shitty because, well, no one wants me around.
Oh.
Oh, come on, come on, come on. I had to engage in a little self deprecation or someone else would
Yeah.
do it for me.
Oh
Mm.
man.
Okay.
But I'm
Whatever.
living proof that.
I said somebody else, not you.
Mm.
Oh, for the love of Saint Gulick. Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's have a look at stuff over here and see what we've got going. We're gonna.
So, one weird thing I noticed today. I
Mm,
was making like a little sort of string of emojis to give a message, and I needed some mathematical symbols. And what I discovered on Facebook is
Mm-hmm.
they don't have an emoji for the equals sign. They have, plus, minus, divide, multiply, add, all that shit, but no equals. You have to put an actual like ASCII equals in there if you want to use one.
Oh
Okay.
my. Oh my.
Oh, I don't know why, but it's a weird blind spot.
Yeah, it is. You'd think they would have all the
Oh, well,
bases covered by now.
you'd think.
You'd
Spooky!
think,
Ahoy
but
hoy! Yay!
Mm.
I don't know if
oh,
anybody out there remembers or knows or anything like that, but I
Yes.
recognize that
We
as
all know it was on The Simpsons. We all know.
well. My understanding is that that is the way that Alexander Graham Bell wanted people to greet each other over.
That was the point they made on The Simpsons. We've all
Oh,
seen
it
the
was
episode.
okay. Okay. Well, no, I
Yes.
haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Okay then.
I think it sounds really like if it was just ahoy, maybe, but ahoy hoy sounds like some drunk frat guy.
I know
yeah,
it's very
really.
strange.
You know, I actually, wow, this is weird. I never really thought about it, but you know, when you get like the British soccer hooligans who greet each other with "oi oi," one of those. I wonder if that's a bastardization of ahoy hoy.
I wonder. I do.
I never thought of it
I
until now. Like
don't
maybe it's because I
know.
was raised with like half my family's Jewish, and so when someone says "oi," they don't mean the same thing. But I mean, yeah, I wonder, huh?
Good question.
Wonder,
Well,
wonder,
we have
wonder who
ourselves
wrote the
one of
Book
those
of
internet
Ahoy.
things. I can have a look. Let's see. Where does you come from? And
And
um,
and while Kate looks things up, I can show you some stuff over on the screen here.
okay, but that's Australia, and I know they use it in Britain too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's see.
Like I know
Yes.
when
Aha! It is effectively a local pronunciation of hoy, an older expression. So it almost certainly has to do with a hoy hoy. Go me for figuring that shit out.
yay! Yeah, you all seen
Like
this guy over
I did
here.
that with my brain and no
Mm-hmm.
internet, no reference material whatsoever. I kick ass. It's like that time I figured out that the dude in the Caleb and Sophia videos is Brazilian.
Oh yes,
What is
absolutely.
this? Oh, I threw that shit away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't even
This
bother to look at it.
this is the third piece. Well, that was the first, but there are three pieces here from the Pennsylvania Fascist Party that
Ah,
are the epitome of what the hell was that? National Enquirer. Yeah, it's all
Okay.
conspiracy. We've got one
I
here.
really should pay more attention to my snail mail spam because honestly, I may have received gems like these that are worth making public and don't recall because I tend to throw away anything that looks like an ad.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you
and
go.
here's another thing from the Republican. President Trump is leading the Great American Comeback.
Oh, for
Crap.
fuck's sake. I mean, really.
Is one that says, "Oh, don't let Joe Biden shut down our economy."
And what's really amazing here is the one I'm holding in my hand right now. It
Mm-hmm.
makes specific mention of the China virus.
Oh,
Oh,
jeepers.
Yeah.
geez.
Can you make this out?
Okay, they're trying to hammer that home so fucking hard. And how do they, like, okay, granted, I don't run in right wing circles, but does anyone think that's actually landing the China virus?
Actually, I have a feeling that there are quite a few people with whom it is landing because they
Yeah.
are so screwed up in the head. They'll take anything as
Yeah,
long as it
really.
comes from their deity of
Precious little
choice.
Trump.
Okay, fine. Are there any rational people, like I know, non-fanatics who are buying it?
Yeah, hell no. No.
No.
Okay, well that was my original question was like if you're not a dyed in the wool Trumpidite, are you buying it at all, even if you're a Republican?
Yeah, because it's just totally amazing the people that I've talked to, and unfortunately there are
Huh.
more than a few of them. There's one person in the other building who specifically said to me that she is voting for Trump because he makes her feel safe. Let's let that sink in for a minute here.
I mean that's the thing. Like if I was there in the moment, I would have asked her safe from what?
You know what?
Because,
I was
he
just
makes
too
me feel safe,
dumbfounded
but
to
what
get.
are-
Say what?
but like, what are the dangers? You know, I mean, anyone should make you feel safe if you're not already in danger.
There you go.
You know what I saw on the TV this morning?
I
Which
don't.
rather, I saw Republicans for Joe Biden
Oh
on an ad
man.
today. There are
Okay.
No, I've been
now
hearing about
Republican ads uh, telling people to vote for Biden in
That's
Florida now.
that's got to
that.
be a response to the what is it? The the Republican the Republicans for Biden. What the heck is that?
I have
The
no
Lincoln
Well,
clue.
no,
Lincoln Project
I
or
think
something?
no, 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 no,
Mm.
no, no, no. The thing is, there are some major Republicans right now who are going, yeah, this has gone too far even for us.
Yeah, yeah,
And so,
yeah.
Uh-huh.
yeah, so they're basically like, I can't vote for Trump. And
Mhm.
like but the thing is, these are really prominent Republicans
Yes,
doing
Mhm.
yes,
this.
they are.
You know,
Yeah.
I understand Mitt Romney has come around back to Trump, but for a while there, it seemed like if anyone was going to do this, it'd be him.
Right. Well, this is uh added more money to everyone's paycheck, suspending the payroll tax.
Oh
Okay, what
yeah.
people don't understand is next later on they have to pay what they got in their paychecks back.
Yeah, that's one thing they don't understand. And then the other thing is, I'm very much suspecting that he intends, once he is inaugurated for a second term, or so he thinks. I hope it's not going to happen. That he is going to make that payroll tax cut permanent, and defund Social Security, defund Medicare, which would be he can't do it now. That would be about the most stupid move he could make in a host of stupid moves, because there are people my age who
Right.
don't want to see Medicare and Social Security ended. But once he's in, he can
Mm-hmm.
do whatever he wants. And yeah, I have a
Yep.
feeling that um, he might not even wait until the inauguration. He might say, if he is seen to be the winner, say, okay, November 3rd is the election, say November 10th, November 15th, whatever it is, as soon as it's clear, then he'll just go ahead and say, okay, no more Social Security, no more Medicare. Start there and just
Okay,
Right.
move on.
I got to correct something you said though,
Okay.
actually, because the election has been moved to November 4th for everybody who's not independent or green,
Oh,
right?
oh,
So,
oh,
so
okay.
you know, if you're Republican or Democrat, you vote on November 4th now.
Okay, okay. Let's get that
You know,
word
but if you're
out.
an independent, yeah,
Yeah, let's get the word out and
November.
make sure everybody knows about that.
What was that?
Yeah. That independents vote on November 3rd, but everyone else has to vote on November 4th now. You see,
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get the impression you don't believe me.
No.
Why should we? Oh, I'll tell you, there are a number of states in which voting has already begun, are there not?
I've heard of it.
Mm.
I know that international voting has begun for sure. I know that one.
Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like,
do
as
know
in,
that
you
as
know,
well.
look at me, I'm on a military base in frickin' Hungary or whatever. I'm voting by mail now. That has happened.
Yeah, because I saw a comment to our Lieutenant Governor, Mr. John Fetterman. Somebody had mentioned that she had remembered to put the ballot in the envelope that goes into the other envelope. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and she was in, or is in, Afghanistan. So she has
Mm-hmm.
already voted. So what I want to know is where my ballot is, but I'll sit
Well,
here and
no,
wait.
no, no, they're not going out till October. They've made this announcement. Ballots not till October.
Okay,
Right.
okay.
Well, the current based on the no toss up based on polls map, if there were no toss ups, if they just voted right now, uh,
How big a landslide would
Biden would
Trump have?
Biden would win with 369 votes.
Yeah, but that's a poll.
But that's the
Yeah,
thing, though, is these
based on
polls
the
are so
polls.
badly wrong. They
know.
have been in the last couple of years, so I don't trust any of them, like, at all.
Yeah, let's remember.
Right.
Let's
Well-
remember 2016, where all the polls were
Yeah.
pointing to Clinton, and yeah, where was that
Plus,
landslide?
But to be perfectly honest, I mean, what good are polls really? I think that polls act more as like spoilers, because if everyone goes, "Oh, I see where the winds are going," that changes how they vote.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's been brought up at least once that
Well, and
effect.
the part that weirds me out the most are the people who are like, "Well, look how far down my guy is in the polls. I'm not voting for him because he won't win." But it's like, well, not with that attitude, he fucking won't.
That's exactly
if
the
he's
opposite
not
of
on
what
the
you should be
polls,
doing.
What you need to do is rally people.
Mm-hmm.
No, but then that's the thing, is like the strategic instincts of most people are the shittiest I've ever seen. Where like they go, okay, Joe Biden is the safe electable candidate. Never mind that he alienates at least half of the voters on the left. He's the most electable candidate. Well, you'd think the most electable candidate would be the one with the broadest appeal. When you got a bunch of people saying blue no matter who, and a bunch of other people saying Bernie or bust, who the fuck do you think is most likely to win?
There you are. Yeah. Well, I don't remember exactly who it was, but it did appear in Twitter over the last day or two that somebody was talking about the phone calls again.
Oh yeah, that
saying that
God, I've blocked them.
fucking Obama.
had Obama not made the phone calls, that this person's what's the word I'm looking for? Projection was that everybody would have rallied behind Bernie, and this would be a very different election.
But of course, they kept Elizabeth Warren in as a spoiler to split the left.
Of course.
Because like a huge swath of people who really ought to have been voting Bernie went, Elizabeth, you stupid fuckers. That was the worst possible thing you could have done to the cause, is go for Elizabeth fucking Warren, whose record is shit. And she was not going to do what Bernie was going to do. She was not going to give us what we wanted. But Elizabeth, if she'd had Bernie's politics, I would have been okay with it. But I wonder how many of those were like, we need the first woman president at all costs, and I don't care about Trump or the issues or anything else. She's just got to have a twat when she sits down in the Oval Office. I'm like, was that really the hill on which it was, prudent to die at this point? Really?
That was certainly a point in the in the support. Yeah, it was. Had to be a woman. As far as Clinton was concerned, there were many people who said they supported Clinton, and their thing was, yeah, she was going to be the first woman.
Well, and the sheer number of boot edge shirts I saw during Pride, and I'm like, you only want him as president because he's a gay dude, and it doesn't matter what policies he enacts. Am I right?
Right.
I mean, I got no problem with a gay dude president, but damn it, he's got to have the right political direction going on for me to vote for him. That's something that like it just seems to be a paradigm shift that the vote shamers won't make. Like, it doesn't seem to matter how many times I say I'm voting for policy, not people. They will insist, yeah, but you got to vote for Biden because Trump. I'm like, well, when Biden has the right policies, no, you have to vote for Biden, not Trump. I'm like, dude, I keep telling you what my priorities are, and you seem to want to deal with me on any level other than that.
The Harmonica Man has what has to be the greatest point, the best description. The country is full of idiots.
Unfortunately, it's not. It's just mostly full of idiots, and the rest of us are standing around going, what the fuck? So
Nobody's listening to us, though. God damn.
Yeah, but we're still standing around going, what the fuck? I mean, like it doesn't matter if anyone's listening to me or not. I'm still screaming in despair and dismay.
About the only
I
person
mean,
around here who's not an idiot is Amiga Nuts, shilling the lovely ladies who are here on channel with me.
there is that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh
Hmm.
my, oh my, oh my! It's yeah. There's some stuff I could say, but I won't. I won't bore anybody with it. Oh shit! But what's really amazing is before the show started, maybe just a few minutes or whatever before the show started, I saw something on Twitter, which is a beautiful juxtaposition, if you will, of things. And let's just get a window going here. And there we are. And we're going to do some sharing. And we're going to present. How's this for two posts in sequence, one right after another? And if somebody offered you 10 million, would you give up policy? Would you give up political commentary? And right after that is something from Joe Biden that I've got to scream at. You know?
See, the thing is, though, I don't get the opening post because the guy says completely give up your political views. How the frick does anyone do that? I mean, it doesn't say give up talking about them. It doesn't say give up screaming them from the rooftops. It doesn't say give up any kind of activism. It just says give up your political views. But you can't do that. You can only give up the outward expression of them.
Well,
But then
that's
the second guy says, walk away from politics and never comment on it again. Dude did not say that. He said, give up your political views, not your behavior.
well. I have a
Hmm.
feeling that he wasn't quite as expressive as he could have been.
You know?
I mean, there is that possibility there. He said something he didn't mean, or he meant something he didn't say. I don't know. But
But I mean, I'm looking at what Biden says, and he's like, we're going to make our government work for everyone, not just the wealthy and well connected. So, where the fuck is Medicare for all, you piece of shit?
I
Where
know,
is
I
ending the
know.
wars so that
Hmm.
the ordinary people aren't being like killed overseas anymore? Where's UBI so that people don't have to be scared of being homeless in a pandemic because they can't go to work?
Right.
I mean, this is not how you make government work for fucking everyone, Biden.
Well, no,
Yeah.
what he's
Really.
what he's saying is the trope that everyone says. Fight for the
Yeah.
middle class, always the
Oh,
middle class.
sure.
And of
I'm just
course, what
pointing
he's
out why it's
doing,
bullshit.
when he's saying that, he's
Yeah.
ignoring at least half the population. I mean, most of
Yep.
us anymore. Maybe at one time it wasn't the case, but anymore, most of us are not middle class. Most of us are a good
Okay.
bit below
I
that.
wonder,
Middle.
though, I mean, I
Okay.
see middle class used as shorthand for working class anyway. So, I mean, I'm not sure that is necessarily the bit of word choice to harp on.
Okay, okay.
I
There.
mean, because
There is
he
no
says for
true.
Main Street, for the folks who keep our country running. That's a bit more inclusive than just the middle class suburbanite.
Okay. Yeah, I could live with that as far as that goes. Oh my, oh my, oh my. But yeah, it's not going to happen anyway. But besides, all that.
Yeah.
Oh my, let's just get over
And
here.
I honestly don't know what Harmonica Man just agreed with. It was 4 minutes, or sorry, no, 2 minutes ago, and I don't remember what I said.
Well,
Or rather, I said a lot. I don't know which part of it I said that inspired the I agree with that.
I don't usually remember my own name unless I'm looking at my passport, so I can't help you there.
It's Ethel Wilkinson, right?
Something like that.
Ethel
Yeah.
Wilkinson. Okay. You don't meet too many Ethels anymore, do you?
No, you don't.
Or Ediths,
Right.
Ednas, pretty much any lady's name starting with E that isn't Elizabeth or Erica. Okay, there's a lot of women's names that start with E that we hear about, but you don't hear Ethel, Edith, or Edna, or Enid, or any of those.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing that I came to my mind that you don't see anymore. I used to see quite a lot when I was younger, is the ethyl that went into your gas tank. There
Oh,
was,
yeah.
yeah, ethyl fuel, ethyl gasoline, whatever.
Yeah, but that's spelled differently, and you know it.
ETHYL.
Yeah, ETHEL is usually the name.
Oh yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, see, I don't even know how to spell anymore.
Yeah, well, look on the bright side.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, quit that before we get
Mm,
struck. Oh man.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
jeez. Well, the clock is
you
still
know,
counting, so we haven't been thrown off the air.
yeah, they talk about they do this, oh, we're all for the middle class. There is no middle class anymore.
Of course.
Not
Yeah, it's the
really.
haves and
Doesn't
it's the have-nots. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. And most people have not.
Right.
So,
And
um
there's all the grumbling about giving us have-nots, what little they give us. Yeah.
yeah. So,
It's amazing to me that we are absolutely necessary. We are the backs upon which the moneyed classes walk, but they still don't want us around. I get what is
mm,
that because that whole Dickensian thing? You can always make more poor people.
I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you could run out of them eventually if you don't think about it, but yeah, I guess you can always make more poor people. But I mean, really,
Mm,
like, I've often wondered about what, like, these gajillionaires, what's their end game, really, with all this money they've acquired? Eventually, people won't be able to buy their stupid products that they keep making. And where do they expect to get the rest of their money?
Right. They don't see that as far as that goes. All they see are the pictures of dead presidents, and as far as I can tell, all they want is more.
mhm.
But I mean, that's the thing is like it often feels like most people are at most looking two moves down the board. Whereas if you look six or so, you'll see the disaster their moves are leading toward.
Yes.
And it just seems like people don't want to have that kind of long term thinking. Like so many people keep saying, well, if we get Biden in office, then we can move him left, but we have to get rid of Trump first. And I keep pointing out, yeah, but he's definitely not getting a second term. He's too old, too senile. No one will let him have a second term. And so he can govern like a lame duck. You can't move him after the election. And then,
Right.
of course, you point out that it's these do nothing Democrats who lead to the greater evils of the Republicans. We need to smash that system, or after Biden, we'll get a worse Trump. But no one's willing to look that far into the future. It's always get rid of Trump, then Biden, get rid of Trump, then Biden, hit reset, then we start the revolution. It's like, that's not how revolutions go.
Absolutely. I am amazed that, well, I am amazed and I'm not amazed all at the same time that no one's paying any attention to what John Oliver, for fuck's sake, said. Have you seen the last week tonight
No, I've
video
never
that he did? Oh,
probably
my,
wiped
Mm-mm.
the guy.
pardon me?
Well, I've never heard his name before ever, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't. So,
Oh, man, just to hear him rip
well, who
the.
is he?
He's the comedian with the late night show.
What's his name?
Say again.
What's his
John
name?
Oliver.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
Okay,
That guy. Yes. 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 Yes.
I have heard his name before. It's just like, in passing at best.
Yeah, his humor is drier than my martinis, and I love it. But this time around, I mean, although he would occasionally poke fun, it was quite serious, and yeah, it ripped the Democrats a new asshole as far as that goes. Of course,
Mhm.
no one's listening. No one gives a shit.
Mm-mm.
Um, and it's basically what you've been saying, and to some extent, I mean, I've been kind of pulling up the rear as far as saying that sort of thing, but I've been in there. But you would think that because he is a little better known, even though you didn't remember who he was, than say you or I or Mom NATO, more people would pay attention to him. But no, it's not going to happen.
Well, mean, part of the problem is he is a comedian, and so I'm sure a lot of people just don't take him seriously, even when he makes a good point.
Yeah, which
Mm-hmm.
is unfortunate, because he's a comedian kind of in the mold of George Carlin, and I know that people did take Carlin seriously, but not enough of them did.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh my! And it's yeah. If I've got to look this up, 'cause I'll put this out there as far as that goes.
Well, I mean, but that's part of the problem, though. Is I mean, sure, you can sway people's minds quite a bit with comedy, but then again, it is comedy, so they maybe might not want to take you completely seriously,
Oh right.
and then maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. It depends on the comedian. I mean, Jim Jeffries makes the point a lot where he's like, "Look, I." Like a lot of politicians, I have a public position and a private position. When I'm up here on stage, don't necessarily take it for my offstage opinions.
Yes. Yeah. Excuse me, please. Let
Yeah,
me
I got
get.
into an argument with an old friend of mine recently about how she hates certain kinds of humor because she's like, oh, it's all punching down when you do this, and you can't joke about this, that, or the other thing, and I don't see why it's funny. I'm sitting there thinking, well, I don't really care whether you think it's funny or not if I think it's funny. That's
Hmm.
what matters is whether I think it's funny. You can just avoid the comedy. And she's like, but it's all toxic. It teaches bad values. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's comedy. Comedy doesn't teach shit unless you're an idiot.
Yeah.
you know, it's just this whole thing of I mean, Carlin's done it. A bunch of other people have done it. The whole you can't joke about rape. Well, it turns out you can.
Yeah.
A
I
lot of
mean,
people and you can make it funny. I mean, Jim Jeffries again says my job is to say horrible things and still seem likable.
it's
Mm-hmm.
in Carlin's own words. I can prove to you that rape is funny. Think of Porky Pig raping Elmer Fudd, and there you go. Um,
Yo,
and of course, we're
so
going to
I
be off
mean,
the air for that one in any minute
yeah,
now.
well,
But I
it's
put
just
into the I put it in the side chat a linkage to the Oliver video that I was speaking of. You got to see this. It's brilliant. It's beautiful. He is spot on, and we're fucked.
well, the thing is, damn it, I was gonna say something I don't remember now. Something
Hmm.
about Carlin rape jokes, Porky Pig, blah blah blah. I don't remember what I was gonna say now. Damn it. Oh well.
I know it's all that weed you've been doing.
Nah, nah. I'm sure it's something else. Besides, I'm out.
Oh no, that's not good. That's not good
Yeah,
at all.
I tried a couple of different systems, and honestly, I think I just need to take another one of the tolerance cleanses, but for longer this time.
Okay then.
Which kind of stinks because it does fuck with my emotions quite a bit. In fact, it's remarkably similar to PMS.
Okay then. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not good. Not good.
So I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Is it the case that that stuff tends to quell nausea?
Mm. Besides, if it does, it's probably the CBD because I have on occasion gotten nauseous on the THC.
Well, no,
But
no.
it
What I'm saying is, does it cure or treat nausea?
well, that's why I'm saying I don't know because
Oh, okay. I thought you had it backwards there for a minute. No, that's my.
no. The ones that also I've never been nauseous when I've tried it, so I couldn't tell you. All I'm saying is that on CBD or no, sorry, THC, I have managed to get nauseous before, but it was also when I was inexperienced, so I may have just been doing something wrong.
Okay, because I don't remember getting nauseous on grass, but I don't know. Maybe I remember incorrectly. It's been a long time since I've
Mm.
had any. Um,
Well, I also have an idiosyncratic reaction to it sometimes, so that's part of it. Yeah,
okay then.
but
Oh look! Yay, Von Rick is here.
Von Rick's here. I thought that happened a
Yay!
while ago.
Okay, I don't remember seeing Vonrich's name in the side chat until recently, but then
Well,
again,
it was a little bit ago.
I haven't been watching. I mean, the
It was a
earliest
little bit
was
ago.
4 minutes ago. Hi, sweetie.
Yeah, well,
Hey.
4 minutes ago is a little bit ago.
It could be an eternity for a housefly.
I suppose.
I mean, how long does an adult housefly live? Less than a day?
Does it? I thought that was fruit flies.
Okay, that could be it. That could be it. I don't know shit. Come on.
Man, how much would that suck?
I don't know. Would you even know it? I mean, would okay to Drosophila would one day feel like 80 years feels to one of us humans?
Oh, but I'm looking here and it says that the lifespan for a male housefly is February.
Okay,
So 28 days.
okay
Uh,
then.
did not realize that mosquitoes only live for 7. I thought mosquitoes lasted longer than a week. But there is a Star Trek alien race called the Okampa that live for like 4 years. But the weird thing is like they're adults before the first year runs out, and I'm like, yeah, but how do they even learn anything that fast? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Cass is this fully functioning adult, and she's not even 4 yet. How the frig do they do that? Like, how much brain power do these little fuckers have? And if they have that much brain power, why haven't they figured out a few life extension techniques?
There you are. There it is.
I don't understand. Well, I mean, not that Star Trek makes much sense half the time. I know people say, "Ooh, how realistic." I'm like, is it though?
Nah.
Is it
No.
though?
No, it's not really.
So,
I mean, even in the early days, when it was perhaps a little bit more realistic, at least as far as the bridge was concerned, um, the plot devices have got a little more fantastic as the years have gone by. But I mean, even in 1966, it was pretty much of a stretch.
well, but I mean, even now with like well, I mean, I haven't really watched much of Discovery, so the stuff that came before it from TNG onward, um, a lot of people insisted that they loved Star Trek because of how realistic it is. And I'm like, you know, people are so high right now.
Well, yeah. Um,
I mean, like, I can understand back in the 60s when the original series was new. I mean, you know, they tried to pass off a dog with a horn stuck to its head as an alien.
yeah, I
I mean,
remember that one.
this is the 60s. Special effects were mostly tinfoil and cardboard. So, I mean, that at least made sense. They don't have any excuse from 1989 onward.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, well.
Oh my, oh my.
I
Oh,
mean, hell, the Orville has one character who is 100% CGI, and nobody bitches about that.
okay. So, Von Rick says a bit on CBD and nausea. Thank you. I'm gonna look at
Mm,
that because I am dealing with quite a bit of nausea lately. As I said on Twitter, I think I'm pregnant.
Eh.
right. Well, okay, here's what I suggest.
Mm,
Go rummage through the fridge for a little while. Well, because if you lose your lunch, it's probably in there. You probably left it in the fridge if you
yeah.
lose your
Okay
lunch.
then. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much.
I'm just saying.
Oh man, come to think of it, what I may do is after I down the rest of this coffee, I may have to pour myself another glass of chocolate milk and use
Mm.
that as
You
a
know,
stomach coating thing.
uh, milk is not good when you have a nauseous tummy.
Really?
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
it curdles in your stomach acids
Don't
and
you
will
usually
make you
want something
vomit.
pretty bland?
Yeah, milk will increase your urge to vomit
Oh,
because
hey,
it sours in your stomach bile.
that would be an amazing draw, wouldn't it? Watch Clarion barf on channel.
You
Your
know,
your
there are
best
people out
bet.
there with vomit fetishes. That does exist.
Oh gosh, I don't
Oh,
want to know about it.
your best bet would be um your baking soda if you don't have any,
Oh,
or if you have any.
I keep a supply of baking soda. I do go
Right,
through quite a
because
lot of that.
that
Yes.
will that will help with some of the stomach acids. 7 Up, ginger, ginger, ginger tea if you have it.
Hey, I might have to try that. Really?
When,
Um,
when does
I'm
when does tea even have hair, much less red?
okay,
I got that
but
one.
anyway,
Ginger? Ginger? Huh?
sorry, brain hurts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'm
it's
looking at a cute sleepy kitty, so
yeah, no, I've got like a major headache after dealing with the IRS today that
Well,
has not gone away.
I thought the IRS was the headache you had. Yeah.
Oh, that just compounds. It's compounded daily. Ha ha.
There you go.
Aww.
What is the aw?
Oh,
uh,
she missed it.
yeah, all right, I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Jeez.
It's
It's
all
not
the
even looking
socks.
at your own darn stream.
Aw,
Who da kitty? Who da kitty? Who's my
kitty.
Oh,
little
the
Zandy Poo?
kitty.
Who's
Kitty,
Yeah.
my little
kitty.
Zandy Poo? Anyway,
Yeah, see, that was what the awe was.
I do
Okay.
No,
love Zandy Poo.
Smudge. Smudge has proved he is the most graceless kitty in the world.
All right.
He decided to go. Normally, Loki sleeps up on top of the top shelf of my desk, uh, of my corner desk. Well, Smudge decided to force him off today.
Oh.
So Smudge laid up there and fell asleep. And right like 45 minutes. Oh, yet. Oh. It would be so funny if he batted at the camera now. Anyway, 45 minutes before the show started, I don't know if he just pushed himself too far, but he fell off the top of the desk
Oh, yeah. That's always good.
onto onto my laptop or my keyboard tray and off onto the floor. Just thump thump thud.
Cat
Oh
butt.
my, oh my, oh
Yeah.
my.
It,
Cat
it
butt.
was
Yay,
it was
cat butt.
so hysterical. Just absolutely hysterical.
Okay, so Mage, you say small sips of root beer. That's
Oh God.
I haven't had root beer in quite a while. That might be kind of nice.
Well, you know, I make a habit of every time I go get pizza, I get root beer with it. There's just something about that where root beer and pizza are the things that go together, food and drink wise.
Okay.
But you can make yourself some if you've got regular tea and then just a sprinkle of ginger in it.
Oh my! I'm trying to remember if I've got any ginger around here. That may be one of the few things I don't have.
I
Yeah.
make sure to keep it around because it used to be one of my seizure triggers and I love it to death. And I was pissed for about 8 years because I couldn't have any. And now I make sure to have it around all the fucking time because I love ginger and I can have it again. Yay! Plus, I make a lot of stir fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that would be kind of nice to have. I haven't made a stir fry in a while, but I've been thinking, I mean, I've got a shit ton of rice. I have a whole bunch of frozen vegetables up in the freezer, which I had acquired specifically for stir fries. And it's been a while since I've got into this stuff, and it's always nice to have, and especially now that I've figured out how to keep the rice grains separate.
Mm.
Yeah, it's in the degree to
And
which
how do you do that?
it's washing very, very much. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll sit there and have the rice in a sieve
Mm-hmm.
and just run the water through it
Mm-hmm.
into a pot, and just with the hand, just doing the
Yeah.
thing with the until the water runs clear.
Yeah, it's
And
just getting all the excess starch off.
yep, and I guess I
Mm-hmm.
just wasn't doing a good enough job
Hmm.
for the longest time because it would always clump and everything else. But since I
Ah,
really
now I have
started,
that in my head.
say again, honey.
Now I have that in my head.
Uh,
Mm.
and then you've got a Zandy Poo cleaning himself
Yep.
fastidiously. Yep.
But see, the problem is you went and said those words, and now the song's in my head.
Hmm?
Uh,
You have no idea what I'm talking about. Whoa, for the longest time ever.
Mm. Okay.
Trying to think about this, Billy Joel.
Is it? I don't
I don't
recall.
know. I can't
I
remember.
I
think
actually,
so.
you know what's weird? I don't think I've ever heard that song when it wasn't being done a cappella.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's Billy Joel.
But
let's
like
see.
seriously, I have never in my life heard that song when it wasn't being done by an a cappella group.
Mm.
I'm trying to
I went
think.
like back in the early 90s, I want to say, I went through this a cappella phase.
Well,
And
Mm.
yes,
acapellas.
it says that it's Jilly Bowl,
Yeah.
so yes.
Acapella is a whole bunch of fun. It really is.
Mm.
Um, and I'm saying this because it's a whole lot of work. I mean,
Mm.
you've got to hear what everyone else is doing and keep yourself in tune with them. There's no standard by which to go. Um,
Uh, we have very different experiences of a cappella music. Most of what I hear is like four people doing music that's kind of popular ish,
Mhm.
pop-ish, you know? Like there was this one band called the Bobs that did like, well, it was almost entirely their own music except for that one album where they did covers, including For the Longest Time. And but it's not like they're doing Gregorian chamber music or anything, you know? This is
Oh.
more like done for entertainment than anything else. It's not supposed to
Yeah.
be art. It's, popular art.
Yeah, no.
well, I mean,
We
the kind of thing I'm after is, something you really don't want, and or maybe you do want it in popular music. I don't know. Is you start in the key of D and you end in the key of G minor. One of those deals.
I
Uh,
just
mm.
the group Rockapella?
Mhm.
I think I know them. Yeah.
Because I'm picturing stuff more like that.
Yeah.
Rather than say a barbershop quartet or people doing shit from the Victorian age or whatever the hell else. I mean,
Um
this is
yeah.
I don't know. They've got this great song the Bobs do called Helmet that's basically just about how much fun this one kid had wearing helmets through his whole life. Like the whole thing starts about talking about taking out the colander and putting it on his head, and things like that.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
I don't know. It's a great song. I love it. I just love the tune, but also the lyrics are just really adorable. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Or as they
Well,
say,
yeah. Let's.
I have no idea what I'm talking
Why
about.
am I so totally blanking on some of those lyrics? Whoops, no, not the Bob, the Bobs. Here it is. Excellent. Okay. So it's like, I can remember how it started. I follow the firemen. I dreamed of the astronauts. They looked so happy in their shiny metal headgear. I knew that inside they were smiling. My mother feared I was abnormal. I'd take out the colander and put it head. People are happy when they know that they're protected. Just let me tell you why I'm smiling. I've got my helmet on. Nothing can do me wrong. I've got my helmet on. Yabop da da bop da da ba da bop like that. In Shining Rose, they sit in every beauty parlor, down in the coal mines lighting the way. From distant battlefields to the tiniest motor scooter, there is peace on every single face. It's just a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay
Yeah.
then. I'm
But
liking
I
it.
mean that's the thing is like when I talk about a cappella music though, I mean I'm talking more like you know, um, how did this go? Let's see. It was like in Shining Rose they sit in every beauty parlor, down in the coal mines lighting the way from distant battlefields. It's just it's fun. I don't know. It's something you can put on to have fun with. You're not trying to be like pinky in the air snooty with it or anything.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, what is
You
Kitty
know, I
doing
really wish
now?
like I wish I had a more American term for that. You know, like in Britain, it's what toffee nosed. We don't have that here. Highfalutin is probably the best we got.
There you go. There you go.
Are you enjoying that peanut butter
The
cookie?
Mm,
highfalutinest, rootin' tootinest cowboy you ever saw, right?
no, nothing like that at all. Nothing like that at all.
And I used to love that when I was a kid, and then years later, it's why did I even like this?
Mm.
Oh. Oh, excuse me.
All right,
Please.
yay!
Please, excuse me.
Well, at least
There. Better, Kate?
What?
She missed it.
yeah.
I was sorry. I'm filling in a form. It's one of those like social media research survey. You will get $125 if we choose you for part of our. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, I burped and I said, please, excuse me.
Oh,
And you missed it.
Yeah.
I really didn't. I would have had very little to say after you said that.
I know, but you always get on me when I say, excuse me. You're like, no.
Well, you
So
know
this
what?
time I
This
said,
time I
please,
decided to
excuse
shake
me.
it up. I decided
Uh-huh.
not to.
Uh-huh.
There you
What?
go. There you go.
All right. I am going to head off. My head is just beating with a hammer.
Oh
So,
my, yeah, that might be a thing to head off, and well, you might head off and watch the upcoming debates, yeah, or debate. Yeah, this is
no,
going to be
I
a whole
think
lot
I'll
of fun.
miss that other headache. Thank you. That's just
Yeah, I
likely to give me a worse headache.
I had thought
Ugh.
a little while ago that maybe we could watch and comment, but um,
Yeah.
as well, Kate wants to watch it by herself, which is probably the best thing to do. Because the other thing
Mhm.
that would be horrible would be, I mean, besides getting a copyright strike,
Mhm.
watching the debate, commenting on it, with say 5 different people commenting and 7
Mm.
different lags.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, honestly, like, well, I wish I had weed for the debate, but I'm out. I suppose I could acquire more, but fuck it. I've been spending too much money this month anyway. Not just on weed, by the way. But
Oh,
I don't know. I
ice
mean,
cream.
the idea of watching the debate while inebriated has some appeal. I guess I do still have
I th-
two left in that 6 pack I bought like a month ago. The one that was apparently lime flavored but isn't.
Oh, okay. The one
Okay.
you kind of did not like.
Well, it just tasted like beer. It didn't like they said made with real lime, and I'm like, ooh, cool, lime flavored. But nah, apparently there's like essence of lime in it somehow. It's like, yeah, we stuck lime peels in the vat, and so it's kind of limeish then. And I almost said limey, but
No, that's
and
something
it's like,
else.
well, the flavor didn't exactly come through. So unless the lime peels added some sort of minerals or vitamins or some shit, it really wasn't worth the price.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'll tell you, there
Yeah.
was something that's not made anymore that I actually really did like. It was my favorite beverage in my karaoke days. Are any of you familiar with something called Zima?
Oh yeah, I never
Yes.
had one, but like, cause it stopped existing before I started drinking.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Zima with a lime, and it was quite good, and ended up spending quite a bit of money on that. And every Saturday, putting down like six or so of them or whatever it was, and going home in during the winter on the slippery sidewalks, and that was always fun.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to head off. I will see you all on Friday if you're on.
Oh yeah, what time is that again?
11:30
Okay,
Wait,
I'm
so
gonna.
is there a thing?
for movie night, and
Oh,
then
so it is movie night.
Saturday night it's 10:30. So,
Oh yeah, that's the.
Is there
oh,
Yeah, I was
wait,
thinking you were talking.
rewind, I have no context. What are we talking
The
Game of Fools.
Game of Fools. Yeah, you might actually
about?
like that one, Kate.
What's that?
We play games, card game. It's like Cards Against Humanity, Quiplash, that kind of thing on Saturday nights.
Why don't
I
you send Kate an invitation?
Uh,
Yeah, I think everybody might like her
I
around,
don't
and she
have
might like
Kate
coming.
on my.
Well,
I don't have
that was one
on
thing I
my.
found kind of weird because I was on one of Manda's, I think it was
Hold
hers,
on.
podcast thingies. And to be perfectly honest, I was a little bit shocked that people actually wanted me there. Like when it was time to leave or whatever, it was made clear to me that my presence had actually been a positive, and I'm not used to that.
Mm.
I don't
Okay,
know.
hold on a second.
It's really because your presence is almost always a positive. I mean, hell,
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind having you here, but okay.
but
Shut up,
so,
Glorian.
I'm seriously not used to that. I'm used to people going, "Well, we endured, Kate."
No, 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 no. You're a great person to have around. Really, you are, and I mean that's not simply because I have a bit of a bias here. No, you're a great addition to just about any group out there.
Well, still, I mean, that is not what experience has taught me. So, I mean, the fact that it was true this time around surprised me.
Well, I wouldn't see you being pleasantly received at a John Birch Society meeting, okay? But
Yeah, well,
you know,
Okay. This is a link to one of our videos, one of our streams. Kate, you can go there and link the channel. It's in internal chat.
all right. Yeah, it made the internal chat noise, so I'm assuming it's this. Copy link address, and then okay. Well, I'll keep that in a tab to watch later.
Okay.
yay,
Okay.
yay.
Well, I will see everybody later. Hope
Well, take
everybody
care,
has a good
honey,
night.
and
I will. I'm gonna go lay down.
say night night to the tornado.
He's sleeping, so I will. I'll tell him you said hi.
Well,
Okay.
here's what you do. Whack him with a pillow, and when he wakes up, tell him he said goodnight, and
Uh-huh.
then let him go back to sleep.
Yeah.
Because honestly, he will be overjoyed to hear from us. He won't mind being taken out of dreamland. He can saw wood later to get our wishes of a calm sleep.
Yes,
There you
exactly.
are.
I
Yeah.
will. I will do exactly that, Kate, and I'll tell him
Okay,
you said to do it. So,
good.
okay. Bye bye.
Yay!
I'm a helper.
Yes, you is. Yes, very many much. Oh man, I'll tell
So,
you though, that's amazing. That you mentioned that. Waking from a sound sleep. One of my favorite things that would happen while I was in hospital, back when I was 18, would be the nurse coming by to wake you up to ask if you wanted a sleeping pill. That was
Mm.
always a good one. It's like, you know, God, the kid's snoring away. Leave the kid alone. But no.
so, you know how they've officially declared that Velma is a lesbian?
Oh yeah. Hmm.
I think that's pathetic. If they were going to make a character LGBT, it should have been Fred or Daphne or Shaggy.
Because let's face it, Velma is the kind of dumpy nerd chic chick, the easiest possible choice because she's so freaking stereotypical. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? They should have totally made Fred gay.
Okay.
I mean, number one, lesbians are easy because nobody objects to it really. You know, and most people are like, yeah, girls on girls is great, but guys on guys is just gross. You know, so number one, challenge that norm by having Fred be the friend to Dorothy. And then, you know, or do it as Daphne, you know,
Hmm.
and hell, make Velma like a raging cockhound and make Daphne the has to find herself lesbian.
Well, of
Because
course.
honestly, I think it would be a more challenging role, a more challenging story, premise.
Well, how many guys would be all over themselves with a queer Daphne? I mean, really, they'd be fantasizing up one side and down the other, and that's always the interesting thing with the guys fantasizing about the dykes is they are wanting to be with us, and it's not happening. Okay, think about it, really. You know?
Well, I remember hearing about I forget if this was on a TV show, if it was real people, because it was so long ago. But there was like this sort of mildly right wing reactionary type who was like, dude, why do you like lesbian porn? It's homosexuality. And the dude's like, yeah, but there's no dicks and, you know, four breasts.
Okay, okay.
You know, it's like I'm getting a lot of what I like here, the guy said. Basically, he's like, you know, it's all chicks all the time, and you don't have to see some guy's wedding tackle during. You know, I don't get like het people who want to watch het porn. I think is kind of weird, in a way.
Okay, yeah. Don't they get enough of that on the real stage, on real life? But oh well. I mean, some
Well, I
some of
mean,
them don't. They're fantasizing about being in that situation. Uh,
well, but given the way that guys talk, though, about their junk, it's like they're both proud of and ashamed of their genitals at the same time somehow. You know? So
okay.
like the only thing I can think of, like the only reason I can think of for guys to want to watch some other naked dude having sex with a chick is so they can fantasize maybe if I was that big. That's the only thing I can think of.
That's probably a lot of it. Yeah. Um, or they're
But
spending all their time looking at the check and saying it would be nice to be that guy, and pounding the check. Um, rather than simply being that big, being that big in the check. But yeah, well.
now, obviously, you can't make Shaggy the LGBT guy because then people will be like, what kind of message are you sending that stoners are the ones who are LGBT? You know, someone somewhere will take exception to that. What I think they should have done is make Fred gay and get him together with Scooby.
All right. Oh my word, the Christian right would have a hell of a lot of fun with that, wouldn't they?
Well, and then there's Scrappy Doo. You know he likes it dirty.
Okay.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. I actually saw a few with Scrappy Doo.
All right. See there?
Kiddiness. We got a couple
Yeah,
kiddiness going on here.
they were just nosing at each other for a sec there, but now not so much.
Yeah, they saw you move the camera over and they said, no, we cannot be seen doing this.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're this close without taking swipes at each other.
Well, wait a minute. Don't they have a part of a chair in between them? Or is that just the way the.
I mean, it's an armrest, but it's not solid by any
Oh,
stretch.
okay,
So,
okay. It looked kind of solid when I was looking at it. Maybe it was
nah.
just the camera angle. Okay.
Yeah, well, definitely the camera angle. Here, let me do this.
Okay, now I'm. Oh, yay! Okay, yeah, definitely not solid. Definitely not solid at
Yeah.
all. And we've got a Zandy face over there. Hello, Xander. And we've got
And
a Columbia face.
some VR gear and a sarcastic nine ball.
All right.
I've seen Magic 8 balls. This one's a sarcastic 9 ball.
I have not seen any of those on retail shelves.
Well, neither have I, but I don't really go to retail places that would sell such a novelty item anymore. I'm not even sure where to find one. I bet there's a Spencer's somewhere in San Diego. But regardless, I
I
had to
don't
get this
know.
one on Amazon. I had to get it on Amazon.
Okay, then. I have not seen a Spencer's since, oh Lord, has to be 1990 something.
They're still around. I saw one when I went to Vermont.
Oh,
It
really?
was the same
Okay.
one that had been there since, well, actually, no, I take that back. There has been one in the same mall since I've been in like middle school, but apparently it has switched storefronts within that mall multiple times. So the one that I went to is not still there, except it kind of is.
All right, then. Because yeah, the last one I was in was nothing at all like the first one I was in. Because I remember the Spencer gifts of the 1970s, and they were trinket shop and that sort of thing. But the trinkets they
Mm-hmm.
had were kind of interesting and stuff you wouldn't mind having. The stuff that was in the shop that I was in last was junk I wouldn't want at all. I mean,
Mm.
they didn't even have the blacklight posters, you know?
Well, one thing that amuses the hell out of me, and I only found this out recently, is like some like heavy metal dude, some hair metal butt rock dude was kind of behind Spencer's. I think it was one of the guys from Kiss, but I'm not sure.
Oh my.
Yeah, but it was definitely started, or at least co-started by one of like someone from a like a band.
Hmm.
Let's see,
But
history. Here we go. Spencer's, or maybe it was acquired. I can't tell now. But I swear I saw something about one of the people that was instrumental behind it was like a butt rocker. I swear.
wait a minute, here we go. Kissfac.com. Kiss and Spencer's.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it was Kiss.
Starting around 97 or so, Kiss and Spencer's Gifts became a ubiquitous, consistent partnership for many, many years. I'm sure that many folks on here have fond memories of visiting the store with high anticipation about what new Kiss merch would be on display next. I know I was one of them. Spencer's was such a huge part of my Kiss fanmanship during my teen years. Every December, for example, my grandma would take me to the mall and let me choose all the Kiss loot I wanted for that year's holiday gift extravaganza, etc., 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 etc. So, okay, um, it looks like maybe they had a whole contract thing going about we're going to unload our merch through you. I mean, the first thing I had thought was an ownership sort of thing. That may or may not be part of it, but
Well, it looks, if I'm reading this right, like it was Gene Simmons.
that would make a lot of sense. Yeah, he's the right wing member. If there's only one, I know he's quite right wing.
Okay, I mean Spencer's though. Do you think Spencer's is right wing somehow?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking right wing, then willing to get into the rape the customer business, that sort of thing. You know,
I I think you're reading a lot into that.
maybe I could be.
I mean, one gets the impression that someone from the band Kiss is going to love a novelty store where they often sell pretty sexy shit. Like, I mean, I
Um,
seem to remember there was indeed a, let's call it NC-17 section of Spencer's.
oh, I remember that, and that's the other thing that I noticed disappeared by the time I was in Spencer's the last time. They didn't have at least as much of that R-rated stuff that I definitely remember seeing back in 1972 or whatever the hell it is.
Right. So point being though is like if I look at Gene Simmons, I look at Kiss, and then I look at Spencer's Gifts, I'm seeing a pattern. Is all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because I mean, for a good long time, they were also like the go-to goth store, the go-to metal store, depending on what year it was. But they were always that sort of like rock and roll pop culture store,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So if I don't know. I don't know. It makes sense to me that Kiss would be involved in a store that sold the stuff Spencer's sold. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. We'll go with that.
I mean,
Definitely.
it would make sense without them too. But if a band was involved and you tell me that band was Kiss, I'd be like, huh, yeah, all right, sure, why not?
Mm. Oh my, oh my, oh my. But yeah, I kind of miss those days of walking into the Spencers and I mean just looking at the stuff that they had. Okay, let's see what else they got this time. Um, and I made them my go-to for the blacklight posters, of course.
Well, in my entire life, I've never owned a black light, and frankly, it's probably for the best that I don't now, given how much I've been not cleaning the apartment.
Okay, then.
Although I'd probably find cat pee in places I didn't know it was.
Yeah, I kind of know that feeling. Oh my.
So,
Well, I'm a good girl. I gave the litter box a really good cleaning yesterday, so
I did that like a month or two ago.
okay.
Like I hadn't basically hit the reset button on litter boxes for a while. So what I ended up doing was just saying, okay, time for a full tear down, and I,
Mm-hmm.
I emptied them out. I didn't like soak them down or nothing, but I scraped out the stuff that was clinging, and then I filled them back up again. And Robert's your mother's brother.
Okay, sounds
Yep.
good. Yeah, I mean, I went to Squall Mart just for one of those small bottles of cat toilet, specifically to do the full change. The 15-pound size or whatever the hell that is. It's 15-pound with as many uses as 20. One of those. But
Hmm.
and I'm sure that the
Oh,
little one's going to be happy when I go back to the what do they call it, tidy cat or whatever it is. I mean, now that I'm finally springing for Uber rides home, it's easier to carry 70 pounds of cat litter home than it is walking it home.
so I got curious. The origin of Bob's your uncle.
Moof beef.
Yes. And apparently there was like a prime minister whose name is Bob. Well, Prime Minister Robert Gascoigne Cecil apparently
Okay.
appointed his nephew Arthur James Balfour as minister for Ireland, and so the phrase "Bob's your uncle" was coined. Because apparently he called the prime minister Uncle Bob, and it's very simple to become a minister when Bob's your uncle.
Alrighty then. Okay.
Now, I don't know if that is the actual explanation because this is just on a message board, but still,
Just like it's really easy to become a senior White House advisor when your daddy's the president, right?
I guess, although really, you should be president and your dad should, because then he will be senior. You
Yeah.
see,
Uh huh.
just saying.
Yep. Absolutely. It's
Yeah, which Wikipedia says the origins of Bob's your uncle are uncertain. Of course they do.
I mean, I would say that sort of behavior, bringing a family member into your administration would be reprehensible. But I really can't because in my living memory, it has happened, again, more than once. Um, the earliest I remember is Robert Kennedy as Attorney General.
Okay,
Um yeah, JFK's
I
brother.
I know, but it's a little bit before my time is the thing.
Mm. Now, I mentioned that just in case anybody out in the audience wasn't familiar with Bobby Kennedy. I don't know I personally don't know who would not be familiar with Bobby Kennedy, with the whole thing about being shot in 1968 and everything. And where the heck did I see it, or did John Oliver say it? That the only reason Nixon won was somebody shot RFK, and there might be something to that.
Anyway, it says here that the main weakness in the theory about Bob's Your Uncle's origin is that the first documented usage of Bob's Your Uncle is in the title of a review at the Victoria Theatre, Dundee, in June 1924. If Salisbury's notorious nepotism towards Balfour in the 1880s had been so widely spoken of to inspire a popular phrase, it's perhaps unlikely that it would have taken nearly 40 years for it to appear in print for the first time.
Hmm.
And they have a point there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Of course, I wonder how many expressions didn't really gain any kind of prominence until like something broke. You know what I mean? There's this expression that's been going around for ages in some obscure ass country, and then it reaches the United States, then it reaches Hollywood, then someone puts it in a script, then the rest of the world hears about it because of some movie that got distributed all over the world. I don't know.
There you go. Yeah.
Or maybe someone puts it in a novel, and people start reading the novel all over the world, and it's the first time they've heard it. I don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, that would cause an expression to become novel. You know.
Mm,
Yeah. You can hit me. What the hell?
believe me, I've been keeping a ledger and saving it all up. If we ever meet in person, well, if the kidney failure doesn't get you, I will. Just saying.
It's gonna be a race. I'll tell you. Oh
Well,
my.
better being a race than being an ethnicity. No, I'll just be over here.
Uh-huh. Oh, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
the interesting. Well, I said it off screen. What's really nice about that is I'm not going to have to suffer the U.S. as an authoritarian regime. That'll be kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think it would just be entertaining. I mean, if we're all done for anyway, at least go out with a bang.
Okay.
You
I,
know.
I, I wouldn't mind that, but no, I'm twisting the meaning, of course. Um,
Well, I mean, in my darker moments, I think that it might not be a bad idea for everything to get about as bad as it can possibly get without being unacceptably so, and then just nuke us all.
okay.
Just like I want to watch the world burn, but I don't want to get burned while it does, kind of thing.
Well, that's the point of watching it as it burns. Yeah, it's usually a little bit more comfortable to the watch the conflagration um, while not screaming in pain.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Conflagration. There we go.
I just I don't know. Like I say, those are my darker moments. That's what I'm trying to say. Those are
Hmm.
my darker moments.
Hmm. Yeah, it's
Hmm.
I don't know. It's kind of nice though when you think about it, because I'm queer. I'm atheist. A few more target points and everything else like that. So as things shift, I would be one hell of a target, and it's like nah 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 nah, nah, you can't get me.
Yeah, well, that's why you move to California, son, or somewhere else on the West Coast, or hell on the East Coast, because I'm fairly certain that if something breaks off and this country starts destroying itself, the best place to be is the coasts.
Mm,
And if it's the East Coast, then go north as well. Because let's face it, you probably don't want to be in the south of the East either.
right,
And
right.
I think it's funny how, like, I guess anything, I kind of want to say west of Texas isn't really the South anymore.
Pretty much.
Like, it doesn't matter how south it is, it's not the Bible Belt.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, I mean, as far as the South, as far as the antebellum South, that sort of thing, anything west of Texas, um, wasn't even a state until what 1859 or something like that, when California joined the Union. And then
Well,
that shit in between didn't achieve statehood until 1912.
I'm not even thinking about statehood at all. I'm thinking culture. I'm thinking, like certainly in Southern California, you're not living in the South, y'all. You know, and
Yeah.
I've only been to Phoenix, but I don't remember anyone being Southern there either. So it really wasn't it. And okay, I guess Vegas doesn't really count as having been to Nevada, but still,
Oh
So it's
no.
like, it's hard to think of anywhere west of Texas as being the South, y'all. You know
Oh
what I mean?
right. Yeah. I mean, the time I spent in Phoenix, definitely not anything like the time I spent in Alabama. Um, big, 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 big difference. And it was Huntsville when I was in northern Alabama, which isn't quite as southern Alabama, although it is quite southern.
Yeah,
Just ask the Gleasons. Um, but
I don't know what that means, but okay.
um,
Um,
Godless Engineer and KC,
are the Gleasons?
yeah, John
Because
Gleason,
you say Gleason, and you know where my brain goes?
Jackie.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. I was gonna say something. I don't remember what it was. Too easily distracted these days.
Squirrel.
Yeah, more or less.
Oh, for the love of Saint Gulick. Yeah, it's. I'm not trying to force any hands here. I'm just reminding everybody that it's a little over a half hour until the debate begins. So anybody who wants to watch, feel free to go. And well, we're going to be tearing down this tent pretty soon, I take it, because you want to watch the debate by your lonesome, and I think maybe I do as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd cheerfully watch it with other people if I felt there was a way to make it work without it either devolving into violence or without everyone or screaming or without it like getting to the point where we go down so many rabbit holes we're not actually watching the debate anymore,
Right,
kind of thing.
right.
Yeah, 'cause I know that could easily happen.
Oh,
And
indeed.
we treated it sort of like movie night where we could pause it, someone shouts drink, and then we have some commentary and then start it back up again. Somehow
That's
it's unworkable to do it any other way.
that's interesting that you mentioned that sort of thing. Is I have to wonder, is the debate in the public domain? Yes. Now, the moment it hits the air, because it is associated with the presidency or politics or whatever it is, or is it somehow copyrighted? I mean, it would be
Uh,
wonderful.
hmm.
It would be wonderful were it public domain immediately.
I think it depends. I mean, knowing what I know about copyright law, which I realize is incomplete and flawed,
Mm-hmm.
and primarily centered around fair use, I know for a fact, without a scrap of doubt, that you can take clips and play them in order to comment. I don't know that you can completely dissect the entire debate with and still maintain that it's fair use. If you do all, what is it, hour and a half, 2 hours that they're doing,
Something on that
so
order, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, um, I don't know if that's allowed. I seem to remember not, because part of the consideration of fair use is the amount of the work used,
Yes.
amount of the other copyrighted work used. So it's not it's a little bit murky, but I'll tell you this much. If you can find a copy of the debate that does not have channel logos all over it, it might be public domain. There's another thing we could totally check, though. Let's see. Presidential debate. Copyright. Let's see what it says.
Yeah.
Reproducing the presidential debates. Should fair use, and then the rest of it. Oh, govern. Here we go. Yeah, introduction. Fuck off. Reproducing a copyrighted debate footage fair use when converters cinematic. No, Jesus, can't you people just say yes?
No, they can't.
Jesus, Harold Christ, couldn't you just tell us the answer instead of paragraph after paragraph? Okay, presidential debates on the web. How does fair use apply? Wow, am I on Fox News? No, this is Wired. They just, for some reason, have a Fox.com or a FoxNews.com logo. Well, it doesn't give an answer. It just says, we don't know.
Oh, yay. That's always a good answer. Yeah, because the kind of thing I was thinking of was not so much the fair use aspect, but the public domain aspect. Because if I remember correctly, and please correct me if I am wrong here, a raw speech delivered by a politician, let's say Donald Trump delivers a governmentally oriented speech from the White House lawn. That I believe is public domain because of being delivered by a public servant. I think maybe. And if the same sort of thing would apply to the debate, then you'd be in like Flint.
Nah, see, the problem is, though, that it's being broadcast on private television, like privately owned television, network television.
Mm-hmm.
And so that would make them the copyright holders.
And what I was wondering there is, do you know offhand if C-SPAN is carrying that?
I had no idea, but
C-SPAN
I'm
isn't so
looking
much
at
private.
I'm looking at something from 2007, and it says something about how that there was something. Let's see. CNN announced that all of its presidential debate coverage will be made available without legal restrictions at the conclusion of each live debate. So I guess if you get the footage from CNN, you're good.
Oh. I wonder what credentials you need in order to do that, because that would be fun.
Oh, well, here we go. CNN also realizes, I'm sure, that its release of CNN-branded video to the online world is a significant marketing coup as well. Besides showcasing CNN's public spiritedness, citizen reuse of the debate video will propagate CNN logos everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense. I've often wondered about that. Like, I really enjoyed the movie Ready Player One. Even though it wasn't the book on screen, it was still a really well done flick. But they had so much 80s nostalgia in there, and even stuff that's not from the 80s, lots of anime stuff. And I want to know how they got the licensing. And I've often wondered, did they just tell people, like, well, look, consider it free advertising? And I wonder how many people went for it.
Yeah, why not?
Because I mean, an argument could be made, like, sure, you violated my copyright, but on the other hand, you made me a hell of a lot more famous, so thank you.
Yeah, which is something I would like to see YouTube do a little bit more of. I mean, there is a little bit of that they've got going, that so-called copyright claim. The openings to the open chat, the Ray Charles, here we go again, and it also might be the applause that's going on with the Hello Cleveland that I overdubbed onto it. Those are a copyright claim, so I cannot monetize the videos. Well, I'm not monetized anyway, but who gives a shit? But Charles' estate would get money from any monetization or somebody would get for Hello Cleveland. Um, that does happen, but it's inconsistent. Because, for example, you can't do that with a Beatles tune.
Well,
You'll get a strike, like that.
Well, one thing that they've been doing though is, like you say, they've been doing the giving the money to the copyright holder.
Mm-hmm.
Another option they do give you though is to blank out the audio, to have them censor either the entire video or to put a blank space just where the copyright claim went.
Yes, I have had that happen to me on a copyright claim. I also did receive a strike about 4 months ago. It's expired by now, but on a very old video, they must have found
Oh,
it.
that happens all the time.
Yeah, and they didn't give me the option to blank anything out or whatever. It was a strike, and I had to watch their bullshit video thing with what do they call it? Copyright school or whatever the hell that is, which is aimed toward somebody grabbing somebody's entire film and using it as their own, which is not what most people who get a copyright strike are doing. Most nobody is stealing the open chat, for example, to make it their own.
Mhm.
They're using clips like "Here we go again," and
Well, it is a little bit obnoxious of them to take the entire video and give all of the money to someone else. I mean, A, what if there's multiple copyright strikes to be had? Two, what if it was like 10 seconds of the video?
mm-hmm.
Like you don't get to have all of the money from this. Why not give them the percentage of money that is equal to the percentage of time in your video that their copyrighted material spent?
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they don't make that distinction. There have been a couple of things they've done though that are, I don't know. Like they used to take these copyright claims, but not strikes, and take down your entire video no matter what. And now they do the thing with the monetization.
Yeah,
But the most noxious thing they do at the moment, for me at least, because I don't tend to violate copyright, is where they say, okay, like here's a video that is not only set to private, but has been set to private for a decade, and that it's 5 seconds long and uses a copyrighted bit of music, and you only stuck it in there to show somebody else the kind of music you wanted them to make for your video. And they're like, yeah, we gotta copyright claim this thing. And I'm like, dude, no one's ever gonna see it. It's private. Why not copyright claim it and then just leave it there and don't even notify me until I make it public again?
there's the thing is I would really like uh, that these folks would leave the private stuff alone. Yeah, as you say, nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to make any money on it, no matter
Well,
what.
then it's literally 12 years old, this video.
Mm-hmm.
12.
Mm-hmm.
This shit was from like 2008, for frying out loud, for crying out loud. That's not I just, like, I actually did talk to, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I did when I was doing that study thing that they had me do.
Yeah.
For I I told them, could you possibly grandfather in older videos that have been sitting there forever? What if there's a copyright strike or two just sitting there in my videos as time bombs? And given the fact that I've been doing this for more than a decade, I have literally multiple thousands of videos on my channel. It's not like I can like reasonably go through all of them and check to make sure that they're copyright legal. I can't do that. That's unreasonable to expect me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if they'll do this grandfathering shit in thing, but I asked for it.
Well, usually you get what you ask for only if what you're asking for is detrimental somehow. Yeah, if it's a good thing, you don't get it.
The weird thing is how receptive they were, though. I mean, they seemed to really love my suggestions, like as in a way that it was hard to even suspect they were being condescending. They liked what I said, and it sounded like they'd never even heard some of my complaints before. Like they were going, "Wow, we had no idea YouTube was screwed up in this fashion," you know.
That's the
So
amazing thing is that they would go so long without knowing. Yeah.
well, it's a good thing they're doing the studies then, isn't it?
Yeah, it's. And I wonder how many people have complained, but the complaints never went through the channels necessary for the proper people to see them or hear them. I
I
have to
suspect
wonder.
I suspect every like complaint anyone ever makes is just summarily ignored.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they claim not. They explicitly claimed not, but I'm not sure. That's the one point where I don't think I believed them.
Yeah. I mean, for the heck of it, it would be just so monumentally so much work involved that one would believe that they're ignoring things quite a lot before one would believe they're actually listening to everything. You know, what kind of staff would they have to listen to all of it?
Yeah, I've wondered about that, you know, and it sounds like the kind of job that would wear on you after a while, like you know, like an air traffic controller. All these people do is bitch, you know. You
Mm-hmm.
overprivileged jackasses, how can you all ask me for this stuff? It's so over, you know. I'm sure there's someone somewhere who's that stressed over being the, what do we want to call it, ombudsman for YouTube.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
Oh
you
man.
know, I'm sure someone somewhere.
And then speaking of complaints and everything, I heard that complaint
Yeah,
from the
Columbia
gallery.
wants, Columbia wants food.
It's another 20 minutes, Columbia. even
Well,
even I know the routine by now.
yeah, but somebody wants her food. I really should have gone to the store today. I'm completely out of kibble.
Oh no, that's not good. Yeah. Oh my. Oh my. I'm actually
I
gonna
meant
have
to
to.
do a lot,
Hmm?
I meant to do a lot more today than I ended up doing.
Yeah. What I think I'm gonna have to do is maybe I can wait until the 1st of October to put it on a new ledger. Um, I start my ledgers here, you know, first of every month and that sort of thing. But get cat litter and cat food all at the same time. Bring it home in the same carload. You know, like I don't know. Let's say 70 pounds of cat litter and 25 pounds of cat food. Because
Hmm.
I'm getting close to the bottom of that barrel um, that was filled in. Oh Christ, was it April or May or something like that? I mean, a 25 pound bag of cat food lasts a good while around here. I mean, she eats, yes, but she doesn't eat like a horse. So yeah, my
Yeah, Xander and Columbia want to eat like horses, and I have to very firmly not let them.
she's really good with this stuff. I mean, I free feed, and she'll eat a little bit, and then she'll go away, and then she'll come back some hours later and eat some more and go away. And yeah, she's not like some non-human people I've known who will fill up on everything that's there and weigh 25 pounds as a cat.
Well, that's one of my big worries when I go on trips because when I went, like, you know, it's a weekend, I'm hanging out at a friend's house and we're doing like a sleepover thing or whatever, spending the weekend, or I don't know, maybe I like I'm going to a convention that only lasts the weekend or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there was a time I'd just leave Columbia at home with full food bowls. And by the time I came home, sure, the food was gone, but, you know, she knows how to moderate herself. Xander, on the other hand, yeah, if I left food out for both of them,
He'd eat
he'd
his.
probably eat all of it,
Yeah.
leave none for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I'd get home and I'd have two very half-starved kitties.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
I mean, like I'm probably not going anywhere until long after the pandemic is done. But when I travel for more than a weekend, I have like the phone number of a pet sitter, and she's pretty decent. She takes care of the cats rather well.
Oh, yay.
Uh, so if I go away for a week, like if I'm gonna go visit the parental units, she will, I mean, she's not that expensive, but whatever, she'll take care of it.
I really wish there was someone I could count on, who didn't cost a fortune. Um, but
I wish I could
unfortunately,
remember how much it is per day with her. I mean, define a fortune.
well, I certainly could not manage the $75 a day I've seen some of them asking
Sweet
for.
zombie, Jesus. Okay, yeah. What I've been paying is at least, if not less than, a third of that.
Okay, okay, yeah, that would be manageable. $25 a day, that would not be all that bad. I mean, especially if I'm saving up for a trip anyway. Um,
Hmm.
I mean, not that any of that's going to happen anymore, but still, something like I wanted to go to Chicago for a week. If I can still do it, that would be great. Um, but if I were not able to take her with me the way I did the last time, it would be a little, touch and go with her being at home for a week. Um,
Hmm.
the last time around, spent 10 days out and went to Chicago, then to Carbondale and back home. She came with me, and that was the reason I rented the car, was to take Sylvia with me on the solar eclipse trip. Otherwise, I was going to take a train, which probably would have been a bit cheaper than renting the damn car. I mean, a 10-day trip, the car was $800, and that was just the car.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, trains go so slowly, though. It would have extended your trip time by a lot.
Yeah, I
Like, let's put it this way, by car, it's about 2 hours to LA from here. By train, closer to 4 or 6.
okay, yeah, and
Mhm.
that difference, if you will, sounds about right for the Chicago trip. It took me, well, I took let's try this again. I did liberal stops, rest stops, especially on her account. So it took me 13 hours to drive from here to Chicago. I mean, had I not done the stopping and that sort of thing, it might have taken me 9 or 10. Um, but
Still,
yeah, but the train was, I think, a day.
mm, I assume you would have gotten a sleeper car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if you have a cat with you, you're not keeping a cat in a carrier for a day.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't work out very well. Um,
Of course, you'd probably have to bring along a litter box, too.
oh yeah, well I did that sort of thing anyway.
Yeah, and it makes sense, but still, ew.
Yeah, I know, especially in a train.
Uh, Hell, I'm thinking especially in a car.
Oh my. Well, what was interesting is when we went. Okay, we did the 13 hours to Chicago. I actually brought her out of the car on a leash, uh, with, filling up the box, and she was not interested in that. Um, she just wanted to stay in the car, and she did just fine for that half day. And then she did her stuff once we got to the Motel 6, and I set up the um, set up the litter box there. Um, by that time, it was enough, and she definitely did her thing. Uh, but yeah, she really didn't want to do any pissing or shitting while in the car, and she had no problem in the carrier, which was really interesting. It amazed the hell out of me. Not a peep out of her for the entire trip. Uh,
I'm not entirely certain I would keep a cat in a carrier, even in the car. I suspect that both Columbia and Xander would lose it, especially given like when I was flying from Seattle to San Diego for what has so far been the last time. Columbia bitched the entire flight. I mean, she would not fucking shut up.
Okay,
So I
then.
can't even imagine what it would be like in a car with her. Never mind Xander, right? So I'm thinking that, if I were to travel with my pets, I would need to do it in such a format where they could leave the carriers.
Yeah, I had thought of letting Sylvia roam freely in the car, and then I thought against it because I could just see her getting into the footwell of the driver's side, and now I can't brake when I need to, or something like that. And I definitely wanted
Mm.
to avoid that. But not, as I said, not a word out of her um, the entire freaking trip. And she reminded me of the way the ex would describe Ariel, who was quite comfortable traveling in a carrier from, uh, and yeah, from Pittsburgh to Phillipsburg, New Jersey, which is across the entire state of Pennsylvania, and just on the other side of the Susquehanna is Phillipsburg. But that's
Did you consider possibly taking the easy way out and just drugging her?
I had. I'm trying to remember if I had got some of those calming things, or if I had asked or thought of. I did actually think of that, and then I just did not do it because I don't know. I was kind of afraid of drugging her in a way. I didn't know how she would
Oh,
react to the
I
whole
understand.
drugging experience.
I completely understand that, and I probably would never drug my cats. I was just curious what you might have done.
Yeah,
I mean, because
yes.
goodness knows that if I was gonna travel with both cats in a confined space like that, I would almost certainly drug at least Xander. Although the more I watch those two together, the more I realize just how much of a troublemaker Columbia can be. Because
There you
she
go.
honestly, like there are times she tolerates Xander, and there's times she really doesn't. And those times are quite random. There does not seem to be a pattern to when she's okay with Xander and when she's not.
Okay.
So, but I think if I was going to drug either one of them to keep them quiet for a trip, it would have to be Xander because he is Adventure Kitty. He's the rambunctious one. Columbia would probably cheerfully just curl up in the back seat and sleep the whole way, where Xander, on the other hand, would be like a caffeinated 5-year-old.
Okay. Oh, boy, moi. Yeah, that would not be fun, let me tell you. And I'll say it again.
So,
I am so surprised at how good she was. I would easily do something like that again. And of course, you
mm,
just watch. I would do it again and get the entirely opposite result.
right. Yeah, so we are currently D minus 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm not sure if we want to cut it closer than that or if we want to catch some of the pregame show or what.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm easy. I am by no means cheap, but I'm easy. So, would you like to be doing some of the pregame? Because it's fine by me. I mean, we could
Oh
we
no,
could say
what I meant was quit early and do the pregame show.
that's what.
Like as in I watch it, you watch it, and never the two shall meet.
But that's what I mean. Yeah, I mean, if you want to wind it down, that's fine by me.
Oh, I just more than anything else want to make sure I don't miss anything. So I'd
Right.
rather be early and thus on time rather than on time and potentially late.
Yeah, and you guys in the live chat, by all means, those of you who could tolerate it, get over to watching the debate. I mean, it ought to be a shitload of fun. Oh, by the way, it's in Cleveland, so they're doing another Cleveland-oriented thing the way they did last year. I didn't realize that Cleveland was as receptive to the fascists as they are. but it's going to be to an empty auditorium, and I just don't know which auditorium in Cleveland or
So
which
it's funny because
studio.
I was in a lift, not an Uber. It was definitely a lift.
Okay.
A couple of months ago, maybe even a year ago. It's been a while. Where I was like talking with the lift driver, and the whole thing about how to be on time equals be early came up, and he was like, "Are you in the military?" I was like, "No," and he goes, "Well, that is exactly the military attitude towards being on time. You know, if you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, that's unforgivable." And when I quoted that line at him, he was like, "You're in the military, right?" I was like, "No." He goes, "Well, I am. And that's the military mindset." I was like, "Well, okay." I don't know. I just mostly I want to be on time because I don't want to make other people wait for me because I'd rather not make other people's lives more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And to be perfectly honest, there's a lot of people who don't seem to understand that when I say it.
Yeah, well, our thing on Sunday, that I must have been in the military in a previous life, because that is more or less my thought, is that to be on time, you need to be early. Well, especially with setting this stuff up, I like to have everybody around, say a half hour at least before the show begins, because this way I can make sure that everything's operating correctly. To have the audio output capture set correctly, I need somebody on the panel. So when you're
Still, a
talking,
half hour, but you message me an hour before the show starts.
yeah, well, I'm assuming it's going to take you a while to answer the call, if you will. I'm assuming
Not
it's going to
usually.
take you at least 20 minutes.
Not usually, actually. Usually, I'm at the computer, probably working or playing a game, and I see the incoming message, and I'm like, I got time.
Okay, fine. Yeah, that's basically what I'm after. Is Yeah, I mean, if you see the thing and you say I've got time, that's great. I'm not. I'm always wondering about the people who do the thing with the show starts at 10 a.m. and they don't begin preparations until 9:55.
Mm,
That would not be enough time for me to check all the bells and whistles. Um,
mm. It would for me, but then I don't try to do the whole like elaborate, ooh, look at all the frames people are in stuff. So,
okay.
that's handy right there. Is
Mm-hmm.
is is deciding I don't need to be too fancy for my streams.
Okay. I'm too
Anyway,
fancy for my streams. We
we are
are
about
about 5 minutes out.
5.
Yeah. So
So
why don't we wrap?
I am gonna make like a baby and head out.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. And have fun. And watching the stuff is going to be a whole shitload of fun. Yes, it will.
Oh, it's gonna be a dumpster fire, and frankly, that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay,
Like
then.
honestly, I don't even care who wins this stupid debate. I don't even care who performs well, as long as it's entertaining. Because I don't want either one of these fuckers to win. I just want this to be like something I can MST3K.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely. And
Anyway, so I'll
you be
I'll
good.
catch you like the plague. You have fun. Plus, clearly, someone wants to be fed. All right,
Okay, honey,
later's.
take care. Oh my, oh my. And there we are. Now we get my ugly mug twice. And there you go. Yeah, I'm going to be taking off too, as far as that goes. I'm going to most likely be watching the CNN stream, unless I can find something through C-SPAN or something. I don't know if they're carrying anything. It would be nice. Were the, oh, let's go watch the nation burn. Von Rick, it's the thing is that the nation has been burning a lot longer than people give credit. Really. Yeah, the trouble hadn't started when Donald Trump was inaugurated. The uh, the trouble hadn't started when the Tea Party reared its ugly head. It's been going on, and it's just been building and building and building, and finally we get the Fourth Reich here. Um, and there's really no stopping it unless there's something extremely drastic, and I don't see anything extremely drastic happening. People want their perceived comfort, so what are you going to do? But with about 3 minutes to go, I want to thank all of you who are here. I want to thank all of you who are not here. Watch the debates, have some fun. Just don't make a drinking game out of it. Don't take a drink every time Donald Trump lies. You'll go through an entire state store at that rate. Okay, then. Be good. Have fun. Thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.